Welcome, Annie Collins here for Rosie Studios, the Creative Club. Today we're going to create this stamp card. Let's go over quickly the products I used. I used the Oh Joyful Day 6x6 pad. I'll give it a quick thumb through. And I'm going to use the bold stripe as my background. And then I used the Oh Joyful Day ephemera pack. I'm going to pull out those mailbox and the 2 letters ephemeras that are there. So this is what the mailbox looks like. It's so cute. It's red, and it has written on here to the North Pole, and it's got some foiling on it. And then I have this little envelope here that's packed with poinsettias and other little things. And this tiny one that says to Santa, addressed to the North Pole, and the little cancellation is also foiled. I'm not sure if my camera's picking that up, but it has that little bit of foiling on it as well. So here is the rest of the things I'm going to be using. For my stash, I went ahead and die cut some white cardstock into stamp shapes, and small, medium, and large. And this is the bold stripe paper from the pad I'm going to use. I trimmed it down about 1/4 inch or so, and there's our stamp base, card base. Okay, so let's go ahead and clear everything off my desk so that we can get started. I'll be using some Baerly Art Glue and some foam adhesive, so I'm going to grab that as quickly as possible. And then we'll do this. This card comes together really quickly because the ephemera is already stamped and colored and die cut for you, so it's a quick and easy card. And you can make easily 2 of these because, well, there's 2 of each pieces of ephemera in the pack. So I'm going to go ahead and use some liquid adhesive here to adhere our pattern paper to our card base, just quickly. And I did this, trimmed this down to be 1/4 inch smaller all the way around, and I'm creating an A2 size card, so that's 4 1/4 by 5.5. Let me get that centered. I'm going to set it to the side, and we can start working on all our little pieces. So I'm going to pop up all the little ephemera. So the little letter to Santa, the other little letter, and the mailbox. What I didn't mention is in the pink envelope, it does have some foiling as well. It has like little tiny lettering, scripty letters that are foiled. And I love the faux wax seal on it. It's so cute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and trim down some of this larger foam adhesive that I have. It's low profile. I just trim it down so it fits better behind this here. I'll remove the backing and place it on the back of the ephemera piece. I'm going to move things out of our way so you can see what I'm doing. And I'll be placing, this is the pink one, on the medium stamp background. And I was going to put some blue to pick up some of that light blue that you see in the stripe in the background for my stamps, but I realized I'm going to be overlapping them and you wouldn't notice that anyway. So I left them white so that everything just pops right off of it. So that will go on there. It fits nicely, so I'm going to remove the backing and put that on there. And this card will not have a sentiment because basically on the mailbox it says express delivery to the North Pole, and I thought that was enough of a sentiment. There is a lot of verbiage on here between that and the letter to Santa. There's a lot of things to read, and I didn't want anything to distract. So there we go. And now I'm going to put our mailbox. It's our last little piece. We'll get that on there, and I'm just going to measure, do I need how much, and then I'm going to cut this down to place it on here. Like I said, it comes together quickly because the ephemera is already decorated for you. So all you have to do is adhere it down. You don't have to pop anything up. That was optional. I prefer to have some dimension on my cards. But if you don't, you just adhere everything straight down and you're ready to go. So I'm going to get the last of this foam tape on here. And then for our finishing touch, I'm going to bring in some gems from my stash. Rosie Studios does have a embellishments, I didn't have any to match that coordinated with this set. So I'm just going to pull something from my stash that coordinates. And what I'm pointing out there was I'm going to adhere this a little further down on my stamp cardstock background because since I'm layering it. So I'm just going to get the last little feet here of the North Pole mailbox set up because I don't want them to bend. Now that I have them all, oh no, sorry, I have one more to go. That's tiny foam adhesive. It's a pip, isn't it? All right, so once I have that there, I'm going to remove the backing and then I'll adhere it, like I said, a little further down on the little stamp background. And what I mean is the postage, it's like a postage stamp design. I keep saying stamp, but you know, since I use stamping in cards, I just don't want to confuse anyone. All right, so this last little bit of backing, and now I'm trying to make sure I'm in camera, and there you go. I'm going to place it a little further down. And now we're just going to liquid adhere these to the card front. So I'll bring that in and grab my liquid glue. So more or less this is what I want to do. I want to layer this on the bottom right, this a little bit overlapping, and I realized I'm going to need to lift this up a little bit here on left hand corner so that I can tuck that little corner of the other stamp into it, of the postage. So let me get this lined up here, and I want to leave just enough that green stripe that they're showing. So I moved it just over some, and now see how I can tuck it since I lifted it. I'm trying to get some of the red to show. Get that on here, and I'm not too worried of them being too straight. It's supposed to look like postage just, you know, falling onto this card. And then finally our little one, and I'm going to bring that down a bit. Everything's overlapping just so. Once that, I press that in place, and now we're going to go ahead, and you can leave it here. Let me be honest, you could leave it just like this if you're not into putting embellishments and things on your card. But if you are, this is where you can do, you have that little spot right there on the bottom left, the little top area on the top right to add some embellishment. And there's also some spots in there within the postage area that is white that you can add a little something something. So I'm going to pull out some red gems here from my stash, and I'm just going to put a little cluster right there on the bottom left and some on the top right just to finish it off. Put my little dabs of glue first, and then I have to get my embellishment wand up. There we go. Grab that, and then I can start putting my little stems, my little gems down. Plop those on there, and then we will be done. Told you it was quick and easy. I think the longest it took me was the 3 minutes that it takes you to, you know, die cut the postage looking cardstock. That was it. And it would go faster if I had an electric, but I have a manual die cutter. So our card is finished. Super cute, super easy. So again, we use the Oh Joyful Day ephemera pack. Like I said, you get 2 of each design in here, so you can create this card twice if you would like. And we use the Oh Joyful Day 6x6 paper pad. And I've gone over this pad in previous videos, so if you would like to look at those, there's a playlist created for you. I'll have everything linked in the description box below for you as well. Thank you for being here. I hope you found some inspiration. Here's another look at the card.